everyone, Damiani here, joined by Brad.
Hi.
We're here to talk about some Bayonetta 3.
That's right. It's finally here.
It's finally here, highly anticipated. It's been a while in development, but it's finally in everyone's hands. Came out this past Friday. We both have put some time into it, so we're here to share some of our initial impressions with the game. And I'm curious, Brad, because of how much I've played in. I'm having a lot of good times with this. But there are just as many moments where I'm like scratching my head as well. So it's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster for me.
Sure, yeah, I got that. I mean, we can start off. I've only played maybe a little over 2 hours so far, so you're further than me, but I've seen some other stuff you told me to check out. But right off the bat, I noticed big time, and I think many people have, it's just like, yo, this game a little too ambitious for the hardware.
You're talking about performance-wise? So, I will definitely say that noticing it not hitting like stable frame rate.
Right.
It's not like it has...
No, it hasn't chugged.
It doesn't
or
chug or anything like that,
that,
but it's definitely not hitting a consistent frame rate. And in a character action game, it's very noticeable, and especially in the early cutscenes, like the city.
The city, yeah.
Props to Bayonetta. All three games just doing this. Their openings are just insane. They always do these insane openings, which are really good. This one's no different. Going through New York City, shenanigans with Rodon, with Enzo, with Bayonetta. One point, Rodon is driving a pizza van across a wave,
he's surfing
surfing
a wave,
it.
yeah,
all
that good stuff you love from the series is still there.
Collapsing everywhere,
chaos, yeah.
But it definitely is a little bit. It's taxing.
Yeah,
hardware
definitely.
Yeah.
Moving Bayonetta feels good. The combat feels fun. It feels like what I remember from. I haven't played Bayonetta in a long time, the first two, but it still feels good to be this character. Doing a witch time dodge still feels crisp. I still enjoy it immensely. But I guess we can just talk about it right now. Is the big new addition for me, right where I'm at, is these devil kaiju things you could summon in battle. They are really cool, super cool. However, they seem OP as hell all the time. Because you can use it, where I'm at in the game, you can use them frequently, and the meter is so fast to get them up. I can just shred guys easily. Or I'm getting to the point where I'm like, well, I just kind of want to use Bayonetta actually a little more in combat. So I hold off on summoning. They're awesome, and seeing this huge demon thing, grab someone and shake him and rip him, and throw him is super cool. But I'm like, I kind of want to kick and shoot a dude in the face, with my feet guns every now and then.
Yeah. I don't think I've been using it too much on smaller enemies, but definitely in boss fights. I feel like I'm calling it out a lot.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
Now, to point out, enemies can damage your summons, and if they get killed, they go away for a while. You cannot bring them back.
Yeah,
to battle.
You can't move either as Bayonetta when you're doing it. You can kind of move them around, but you are stationary, which is cool.
You got it. Yeah, you have to juggle between not haphazardly calling them out where they can be damaged, as well as if there are a lot of enemies on the field. You need to be aware as Bayonetta that you might have to
get hit in the side,
regain control of her, which will de-summon, and then do your kind of micromanagement with the smaller crowd control, then resummon again. But yeah, boss fights, it feels like, to me, the rhythm is get a good combo going, activate witch time. In that witch time, bust it out, unleash it, reel it back in, and then play. So it's kind of a juggling act.
Sure,
but that doesn't feel overwhelming to me.
No, I don't think it feels overwhelming.
I think it feels really good, and there's a lot of variety. They have. The Gamora or whatever, the demon dog.
The first one you get,
you have. You got
the second one.
You got the butterfly, Madam
Butterfly. Which is cool too.
You got a spider one later. You get a train one
that
later,
is tight.
Which is really cool. That one takes a little bit of getting used to that one.
Sure.
And then obviously they give you, not only do they come out as giant summons, but you can transform just in the rhythm of basic movement in combat.
Yeah. I love that summoning them doesn't interrupt anything. It's not nothing comes to a halt to summon them. It's just there's there immediately kind of thing, and it keeps you in the action, which is so important for a game like this.
Yeah, and I think playing as Bayonetta, I agree with you. Bayonetta feels really good to play. Enemies, definitely, they do the best job with like giving you tell signs for knowing how to react to dodge. Dodging still feels pretty generous.
Yep, it does.
Giant enemies, they do a thing where the camera tries to make them kind of like transparent, so you can still, and like a lot of it's sound cues too. As much as like the flash of light, it's like there's also sound cues you get used to. And if you played Bayonetta 1 or 2, it's very easy to get back into.
Yeah, definitely.
But just level traversals, like the level, these are pretty open levels. You can just rush through them. Obviously, you go straight. You even hit a like L3 to like reveal where you need to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of optional fights.
Optional challenges
that will all impact your level score and get those, like, you know, those trophies. Well, the statues.
The statues, love the statues.
You want to get those platinum or gold statues.
Dude, when you get a no hit, whew, feels good.
Feels really good. But these new kind of like they're not familiars, because there are familiars in the level, but that's something different. Those are collectibles. But these kind of like demons that you make packs with also aid you in traversal. So like the butterfly lets you like glide. Then there is like kind of like the first one, Demon Dog, you can kind of like run really fast. Looks like Ifrit. It literally looks like Final Fantasy Ifrit, and then like you can jump, and he holds out his hands like he's charging him, and then he like boosts himself like a rocket.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then like later on, like you get the spider, you can like swing like Spider-Man.
Donkey Kong Country 2?
Well, you can. You don't shoot the webs to make platforms, but you definitely can climb up walls, the sides of surfaces.
Cool.
It is limited. You can't like do this infinitely.
Of course,
But it makes platforming kind of fun. It mixes it up a lot. And I'm really appreciating that. And I like how the levels have a little bit more depth in terms of if you go and explore, maybe solve this puzzle, do like like some of these like blocks that you hit will just give you a chest with the reward right in there, like a fragment to upgrade your health or your magic meter, or it unlocks a series of like temporary platforms where you have a time limit to navigate them or collect certain items, and it's just kind of fun and mixes it up. And you know, it still has like the upgrade systems for like all like each character. You can unlock all the skill tree stuff for Bayonetta, for other characters, and in all of your demon forms you can upgrade those abilities as well. So it's very familiar. Item usage is all back,
definitely.
But yeah, I don't know if you got to mess around with any of the butterfly thing. I think so. Like
I did the butterfly and like the Ifrit kind of one, like running around with that, and you can like the boost and all that stuff. So yeah, I did a lot of that, which is cool.
So as a game, obviously we're gonna avoid like story stuff, but like the premise is multiverse, and you start off in like the first major set of levels is like an alternate Japan, Tokyo. The second one, I don't know if you made it to it yet, is like an alternate history. The main villain, Singularity. By the way, the Singularity is the name of the villain who's like hunting down all the Bayonettas and all the multiverses or whatever, trying to get to like the prime, to make their universe like the prime one, and then they can get the power to go watch the story. But the second reality you go into is where it's like, it looks like Dynasty Warriors China, but the villain says you're in sync with your time. You're actually in the present, but it's where different technology took over. So like feudal Japan kind of like stayed the course, and was the dominant like kind of like civilization throughout the rest of like history. So you're just seeing cannons and stuff. There's no modern technology. It's kind of cool.
That's fun.
So you get these crazy settings like that, and I really like the environments. The one we just saw might have been my least favorite. We got to like a desert. That one maybe not so much, but other ones have been really good. Especially like that hub island, like the one they're watching over all.
Super jolly. I got to bring up the Tokyo level. There's like the boss fight where you're in your like demon form and you're like surfing on buses or something as this huge demon and like doing just pure chaos. I like forgot how chaotic this stuff was for a little bit, because it's been a while since I've played Bayonetta, and I was like, man,
they love to be over the top. And it just like it leaves your jaw like
what they just do.
It's jaw dropping.
It's a shame, dude, with the tech.
The tech is definitely, it needs a little bit more juice, because it just sticks out a little bit when it's not running smoothly. Now, one thing I found not to my liking, I'm not really digging, is there are sequences where you go into your demon form, and it's kind of like not quite a chase sequence, but it's like a it's like run along a linear course. One of them is the first ones is like you're the spider. You need to traverse a bunch of buildings falling down, and meanwhile like reality is collapsing behind you. So you gotta it's like kind of keep moving.
Right.
Some of these I don't enjoy.
Sure.
It feels a little confusing where to go. They throw up a bunch of controls like how to handle right away.
Yeah.
And but like they're immediately like go. Like, and
yeah, they don't ramp up to it.
Sometimes
It's just
there's like the
100.
pause button, the read through it, but sometimes just like throw you into it. And I know it's supposed to be basically I had to learn to just be this is simple chaos. Just like go with it.
Yeah.
Don't worry too much about don't overthink it.
Yeah. Totally.
And once I learned to do that, I enjoyed them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they're good set pieces, but I feel like they could be a little bit even more guided. But they want to have a challenge to it because there is a score still going on. That's still part of the ranking.
Yeah.
And I understand why they're doing it, but first time through, it can feel a little frustrating.
Yeah, you're just not feeling it quite yet.
Yeah.
Got it.
The thing I had Brad try out before we recorded this are the side mission levels featuring Jean, which are side-scrolling Metal Gear-esque like stealth segments.
Yeah.
And I'm very like I just wanted Brad to experience them because I kind of led him a bit by saying I felt like to me they were my least favorite part of the game so far.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can get that.
But
like, I don't think they're bad. I was just confused at a second. Like, I was like, what is this kind of thing? Like, especially because the part I played is like, yeah, it's the side-scrolling thing. It's cool you could stealth kill guys, but the combat, like when you get in a combat encounter, there's some fun twists. Like you could pick up, like I picked up a shotgun and just shot some dudes. That's cool. But I fought someone actually, like a little like mini boss. My combos were like 2 moves or 2 things only. It felt very limiting in a Bayonetta game. And I was like, okay, it's a side thing. Not a big deal. I only did it once, though. I don't know if this is going to come throughout the game further on, and if it'll just kind of like kill the pace for me. But I think it's okay right now.
it's like an interesting idea. I feel it's really out of place. You like said that, and like that's I think that's how I feel.
I was
the
like,
most.
what is this?
Essentially, like, yeah, Jean, there's like 3 characters. There's Bayonetta doing her thing. There's Viola, the newcomer, who's doing her thing. And then there's Jean, who's doing her own thing. I feel like this was maybe where they either ran out of budget and because these seem like they could have just been normal levels with Jean, playing as Jean. And that's something that could have been more appealing.
I would have preferred that.
And this, it's like, it's fun to do the first one. I didn't have you play the second one, which is more complicated. That's where I started to say, I'm done with this. I know we're probably going to get one of these after each kind of major set of chapters.
That's a shame.
And I don't know if I want to. I'm over it.
Yeah,
the novelty wore off.
I get it. Yeah.
So that's one of the lowest points for me. Is that they just feel like they take away from the pacing. You were mentioning earlier that we don't need to get obviously into the story, but you were saying there's a lot of cutscenes.
There's a lot of cutscenes, more than I was expecting. Like I was ready to I was gnawing at the bit just to like fight some stuff. I'm like, this is Bayonetta. Like gotta have the crazy cutscenes. Totally get beginning of the game, but I was just like, wait. I feel like I was waiting a long time, and I have been still for combat. There's been a ton of cutscenes where I'm just like, man, let me cut loose. Like maybe it'll later on, but just where I've been at right now, I've just been like, okay, let me fight something. Yeah,
I got that feeling several times. And again, though, yeah, Bayonetta, her different forms are different, like having the different weapons. So you can equip the 3 packs.
Like, the hammer thing, with the gun. Yeah, that thing's fun.
That's my favorite one. You get like a yo-yo, kind of like a saw thing later.
Nest weapon?
That Bayonetta skates on. Like, she skates on them, and like she rolls around and does it.
That's cool.
And then obviously, like, yeah, there's a few others you'll get. But they're really fun to play. They're different styles. I feel like they throw a lot. You can also, if you played Bayonetta 1 and 2, you can get your OG gun sets with your OG moves
if you
as
had
well.
1 and 2 on Switch.
So you have the 3 gun sets, the Color My World, Scarborough Fair, and the blue ones, the original ones. I'm so sorry I forget their names. You have those 3 styles, and then you get additional ones in each multiverse that you go to. And you can switch between 2. You can have 2 equipped, and you can have 3 demon packs. Demon packs, you switch to the D-pad.
Yeah. That works well, I think, switching with the 2
the demon pack thing is fine. And like that, I just wish It feels like at times there's too many options to pick from play styles
like,
that I'm kind of focusing on one or two. I've picked two and I'm kind of just sticking with them. But each time I see a new one, I really want to try it out.
Now, it's been a long time for both of us, so I'm trying to recall. I'm thinking of Devil May Cry 5, when you're Dante.
Yeah.
And I remember you could swap between things fairly easily with him, on the fly.
That's been a thing since 3.
Yeah.
Since Devil May Cry 3, you can change your styles.
Right. I think in 4, you could do it, but I think in 5 it was easier from what I remember. It's been a long time, so I could be wrong, but I guess I just don't want to be in the menus, I guess.
That's the thing.
Or do you feel like you're in a menu too much?
Yeah, I feel like I have to go into a menu too much because you're limited. But also, I can see where I think was DMC Dante has 5 or 6 styles.
Sure,
we're gonna eclipse that by the end of the game. I feel like, and I think that might be too much to have you actively changing between. But all these have their own unique skill trees as well, so you're gonna have to
There's a lot of variety for you to choose from if you want, which is cool.
Yeah, I think it was more. My gut is that it's more to suit more play styles. Someone one's a little bit more ranged feeling, one's a little bit get up more close in your face.
Yeah,
and I feel like one has more speed, one's slow. The hammer one's slower, obviously.
Yeah,
it's a Monster Hunter winner.
I want to be able to for games like this. I like when you can incorporate a bunch of weapons and stuff in between combos. I really like that when you can swap weapons between combat or in a combo. But you can only do 2 sets right now, as far as I'm aware of. You could switch between on the fly, which is great. I just wish I could switch between more, maybe, or maybe just because there's not enough buttons. I assume they're just doing what they can.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's got a lot of depth to it. It might be a little bit too much, but my advice would be, from what I just at least always have one that you're familiar with, and then maybe keep switching out the other one to experiment with, which is what I've been doing. And my go-to one has been the big hammer gun one. It's so good. It just clicks. Awesome. It just clicks with me. It's pacing is really nice. We haven't talked about the other playable character, Viola. Who samurai sword wielding, who can summon Cheshire, this giant demonic cat. But her witch time activates by doing parries.
Yes.
And I feel like maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just bad at the game, but I feel like she's harder to play well. And her parry window feels way tighter than Bayonetta's witch time dodge window for me.
Maybe, yeah.
Or at least the level of thinking behind it isn't quite the same. You still see the flashes, but I feel like when you see a flash, I feel like you can't say one dodge is Bayonetta, but when I do that with Viola, I'm sometimes I either get hit because I'm too early or just blocks.
Okay.
And a game that this reminds me of a little bit is Revengeance.
Oh,
where you had the different windows for parry. You would either just normal block, whiff, or you do the perfect parry and be able to counter with Zandatsu. I think because Revengeance only focuses on that, eventually it clicks.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, I think maybe if you just players are more start to click more. I think
that's the thing. They hold her a little bit late. You play as her once, then you go away from her for a while, then you go back to her. And I think there is an accessory you get. I think I just finally got to it, which you can give Bayonetta the ability to do parries as well.
Yeah.
So I think if you have it on both and you're constantly being able to use the parry, you'll get used to it. It just takes, I think, a little bit more repetition.
Yeah, that's cool. You can, I guess, can kind of build your playstyle around the character, I guess. Play them a little bit different than someone else, maybe, which is fun.
She felt a little one-dimensional compared to Bayonetta.
I was going to ask her
right before we record this, I unlocked some ability with her where it's now now it's starting to evolve, and I'm seeing how it's going to improve and have a lot more depth.
Yeah.
It's just they're clearly holding her out and developing her a little bit after Bayonetta, because Bayonetta is still the primary character that they want you to learn the ropes with.
Yeah. So far, I guess overall, Dom, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I think it's a very fun game, especially if you like character action games. I think you're going to have a good time. Definitely need to play more, though, to see how it's all going to shape up when I'm just playing, here and there in bits and pieces. I'm curious to see how it all unravel at the end with all the combos and all that good stuff. Once you got everything, all the crazy challenges.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
They got the challenges again, those challenge rooms,
I
those
love
weird
those
conditions, those are all back.
Yeah.
And the last thing of praise I want to say, because I know I was going a little bit back and forth, but I'm mostly feeling pretty good about this game. really like how they tackled the issue that's actually plagued like games like Devil May Cry, especially 5, where you spend a lot of time in like environments get a little samey looking because by doing a multiverse setting,
you're going to crazy different places.
You get to go to so many different locales. I'm really appreciating the variety in the environments, and
it's important.
It's been a platinum / also Devil May Cry Capcom thing where it hasn't been really great in the past.
Right.
Even like Revengeance, I would say like doesn't always have the greatest environment variety. This one's really for me nailing.
That's good. That's important. Yeah,
pretty good stuff. And music like you would expect.
Yeah,
it's like the campy, cheesy stuff. It's right in the same vein as the other ones. And the voice work, like I'm like liking it so far.
Yeah,
like
seems fun.
Yeah, not really. I mean, maybe other people notice a difference, but like it still feels good. And I think like this concept, kind of this, warrants maybe a little bit change as well.
Sure.
And dude, yeah, this is just good vibes.
Yeah,
good vibes and goofy vibes.
You can have a good time.
Yeah, and then forgot you could change like Bayonetta's outfits based on the
I saw you.
stuff.
I saw your. I was like,
so
your Bayonetta looks a lot different.
There's a lot of tiers of. There's like 3 currencies. One of the currencies is the gold rings, but like the halos, those are used for like the costume and cosmetic stuff, and like it's fun trying to mix and match with that.
Yeah, that is fun
for those who like that. But yeah,
yeah, good stuff. We're definitely gonna play more.
Yeah, I'm definitely really appreciating it, and I think they're definitely trying to do new stuff with it. I'm definitely of the mind that 2 was definitely refining 1's formula, and just kind of like, unless you're like a super high end level player, 2 was all for the better. All the changes were for the better, in my opinion. This is trying to take risk and do things different.
Yeah.
So I hope it's well received, or at least received well enough that they get another chance, because I think this is a good stepping stone to like they could take the feedback from this platinum.
Yeah, I think so,
and keep developing this this series going forward, because it could have run the risk of just like playing it safe and stagnating.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to support us, you like this video and other coverage we do, patreon.com/easyallies is how we're primarily funded. Also, you're watching this YouTube, do the usual social things, like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe, ring that bell thing. I hate saying that.
Ring the bell.
Like ring it or whatever. Ring it from me, because it'll annoy me. Yeah, like just you want to annoy me, just ring that bell, because I hate it every time you do that. But yeah, thanks to everyone, and hopefully you're also enjoying Bayonetta later.